This is Trisss, and welcome to another Abathur game here in Heroes of the Storm. Today we sadly find ourselves on Braxis Holdout, which is quite frankly the worst map you could find yourself on as Abathur, with the possible exception of the Lost Cavern map, the all-random all-mid map. So today we will be having a lot of trouble making things happen here. The map consists of 2-lane, which means that basically the best way to play this map is to have one strong laner in one lane and 4 on the other lane. And this leaves no space basically for Abathur to safely soak a lane. And that's actually one of the strengths of Abathur. On top of that, Abathur is more like a late game hero, while this map, really even before when they changed it, was a early game map. But let's see what we can make happen here. Tracer move, oh. And our shield came down a little bit too late. She has to be careful here, because Chromie can just one-shot her if both her abilities land. And yeah, so the only good thing I see on this map is that it's pretty predictable of where your enemies will be. So if you're going, for instance, like I am here for a mines build, it's pretty easy to see that our enemies will be going for the beacons. Then again, once our enemies will find out that we put all our mines around the beacons, they will probably use something to clear it out, if they have the ability to do so. Our Diablo player is going to flip the enemy Elrek player into safety, which is a shame for us. I would much rather see that he flips him into our mines for some extra damage. But hey, can't have it all, right? As you can see, I'm at the moment positioned in the middle, in between the 2 lanes. This has the advantage that we can put our mines in both the top lane and the bottom lane, reach-wise. It does not really help us to soak any harder, because our locusts have to travel a pretty far distance before they reach the lanes. Sadly, however, you're just not safe in the lanes as Abathur, so it's going to be hard for us to make things happen. And before this map came out, I would actually say that the Tomb of the Spider Queen was the worst map for Abathur, because it also was heavily rotation reliant. It's a small map, so there are no spaces or places where you are safe for a long time. And our team has to be careful here if they are hit. She made it. And on the other side, at least we got the counter kill. So we have the top beacon. We lost the bottom beacon, sadly. There's not really a lot we can do here. We can place our mines, try to help out where we can, but even though the objective is up, there's no place where we can just safely stand and body soak. You probably will see at the end of the game on the score screen that we basically did horrible at soaking. Our poor Rainer here is sadly gonna fall, which gives our enemies the control of both beacons, I would say, although the bottom beacon is contested at the moment. Just after our Jimmy dies, our Diablo goes in, so he has to be careful, as should we. And whoever hits first will win, I guess. So it's very hard to make things happen here. I would love to show you guys more, but there is just not a lot we can do here, which makes it such a horrible map. In my opinion, there's 2 builds you can go for here. The one is the symbiote build, which would help out with the attack speed, I would guess, but not really so much with the don't just stand still against the Chromie. Yeah, that's a shame. I'm not sure that mine will kill her if she walks through it, but our Diablo goes in and he gets the kill. So we could have gone here for the symbiote build, help out our Diablo player, and with the attack speed help out basically anyone who auto-attacks, and that would basically mean we would be symbioting Rainer or Tracer for that. But yeah, the map feels kind of like Dragonshire in that you know where the teams will go, but even stealing here, like we stole this beacon here, it never feels really impactful to me. It just delays the inevitable in the end. Yeah, and there's nothing we can do against this Tracer here, for example. So we'll just continue putting mines down and hope for the best. In the meantime, we are at 14% and our enemies at 74. We are winning the XP race at the moment, so we'll be hitting level 7 first. As you guys might have noticed, I really like the mule talent on Abathur at level 7. But it will not get you as much value as on other maps once the big wave of Zerg will start spawning, because they just annihilate anything in their path, and a little mule will not stop them for long. So we're just gonna go with the movement slow here instead of the mule, and yeah, it's sad basically. Which is not to say that I don't like the map, especially before they changed it into being a not so early game map, because before it was the Zerg waves were super strong and whoever won the early game would win the game. I actually like that because it gives the game a different priority when playing it. Like you would draft differently on an early game map than on a late game map, and this was the early game map at that point. Of course they changed it, so now the Zerg waves are a lot weaker at the beginning, which is not to say that they won't kill you if you just stand in it. As we can see here, our Diablo fell at some point. I must admit that I missed where he fell. Our mines will not be doing too much against this push of Zerg either. So yeah, as you can see, we were winning the XP race, but right now we are just falling far behind, and there's not a lot we can do against it. At least with us being in the bottom lane, we help de-push the lane a little bit against this beautiful styled Lunara. And our Diablo flies in. Wow, that was quite the range. And he gets a kill, which helps us because we are behind. A kill when you're behind is worth more than when you're ahead in XP. So right now we de-pushed the Zerg wave. Our team is counter-attacking, it would seem, in the top lane. And we're just trying to hold off Lunara as good as we can here. As you can see, I put some mines over there just for the vision, to see if they're going to start on their camp. They might be starting on their siege giant, or whatever they're called on this map, in the top. But, oh, Diablo get out. And Chromie luckily missed her combo there. But Diablo will fall anyway. He did have 100 stacks, so he will be back up pretty soon. Only a lot weaker than before. So we are just gonna make sure that, yeah, what are we doing actually? Not a lot. We cannot help in the top lane. We cannot really make a lot happen in the bottom lane. We can give our team vision. And it would seem that our opponents want to push in here. We see 2 in the top lane, and they are... Our Diablo player should really not be flipping our enemies when they're caught in a corner or caught against a wall. We can poke a little bit here at Chromie, but she will be able to get away without anything else for us to spike damage against her. There's not a lot we can do. We did get our heroic in the meantime, but right now there's not really a good place for us to use it. This is, by the way, not a map I would go for the monstrosity ultimate ever, because the map just don't lends itself to a split push like that. As you can see though, our mines are doing quite a bit of damage here, and if we had a Diablo here, I would definitely want to engage. But our team is, except for Raynor, caught up on the top of the map. So, and losing, as it would seem. Oh, maybe we should have helped out here a little bit earlier. Diablo is gonna root himself. Is he gonna... He's getting the kill. That was actually pretty good of him. So, we have the top shrine. Now it is for us to get the bottom shrine. Well, we could have the top shrine if she would just stand on it for a bit longer. We're gonna help the wave push in here a little bit more. we have taken out 3 of our opponents, so if worse comes to worse, we can actually copy our Raynor here, or our Li Ming if she moves in. And this is a funny thing. You take out the camp, but you do not cap it. Well, maybe they had a grand plan behind it, but I feel safer just capping it right here. Actually, it seems like we're winning at the moment. At least winning the objective at this moment. Oh, and as soon as I try to speak, we are almost losing our Tracer here. Our Diablo has to get out of there. He will die if he stays. We can try to push them a little bit here, and hopefully give... Come on, Tracer, get out of there. And Diablo is rooting himself again. He will, he has no chance of surviving that one. So we did get at least 40%. It would be nice if we hit the 50% because it will give us a stronger wave. Of course, it would be even better if we would win the fight for the objectives, but it's going to be very hard for us, I'm afraid. Which is not to say that playing Abathur is an automatic loss on this map, but it kind of is. And, that's in the Tracer Wars, only one... don't die to the boss here. Oh my god. That was actually... If that was the other Tracer engaging on the boss, that would, well, be boss, actually. Luckily for us, our Diablo moves in on the right time. Our Chromie is placing her little time traps pretty good, but never seems to be around when they pop. So that's one thing we're lucky with, because most of our team would actually just be at least forced to go back, or just be forcefully placed back at the starting location after dying when she comboed. Let's see if we can make anything happen here. Messed up. Not gonna do too much here, except soak a little bit of gunshots from the tower. And I think... yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that our mines are being placed whenever we can. And I have not actually seen a lot of kills on our side. Tracer is once again being stuck in that lightning breath of Diablo. And Chromie is once again missing her combo. So we are getting lucky in some fields here. And unlucky in others, it would seem. Look at those Banshees. They're just hanging there. At the moment, actually, Raynor should have gone for the other ultimate, the Hyperion, because it's bugged at the moment. It attacks. Its attacks count as basic attacks of Raynor. So if you blind Raynor, your Hyperion will miss. If you, however, go for the AA benefiting talents, like the focused attack, seasoned marksman, and stuff like that, it will actually also apply to your Hyperion. I have not seen this, but I think it would be super strong if you would just stim drone Raynor just before attacking. Very popular at the moment is, of course, the Bloodlust, the Earthquake, stuff like that, to either keep them in underneath the Hyperion, or to just make Raynor stronger in his engage. See, if he had the Hyperion here, he could have just launched it over the Zerg wave, and he would have dealt a ton load of damage, instead of just, the very weak... Oh, shame she didn't walk through our slowing mines there. Very weak Banshees. So our Tracer might actually get the kill here, but their Chromie's actually making very good use of her version of Ice Block. Won't save her though in the end. And while our team here is following the Anubarak, our enemy's Zerg wave is slowly dying, and we do have to be careful that it doesn't kill us. The counter-attack of our opponents, on the other hand, is truly ripping into our line. Oh, if only we were... that was a pretty nice kill at the end there. And is our... Nope, she's gonna miss horribly. So, as it stands, we are one team member up for a few seconds. It's not going to give us too much, sadly. As you can see, we haven't even taken down the first forts on either side of the map. I recently played I recently played the Lost Vikings on this map, and let me tell you, it's not fun. It's basically like playing Abathur. You're just like Abathur wants the long game. He wants to be all over the place. But this map is basically a very small box in which he has a hard time moving around. So Raynor is taking our easy siege camp. Diablo is de-pushing the top. And our Tracer might be attacking Chromie, so I'm just gonna try to soften her up a little bit here. And of course we do have to put our mines down so we make the best use of our cooldowns. She should be able to get out of that, yeah. And, oh, that's a good sticky bomb there. And our Tracer is actually doing very well in getting 2 kills here. The death timers are pretty long. So we should be able to get that very first fort there. I'm afraid we cannot tunnel in here to take this top beacon, for Alarak will just destroy us. We might go to the bottom one, but our allies are there, and they're fighting, so there's not much use in doing that. We can just hopefully soften him up a little bit with our mines. Maybe he'll retreat or stay long enough for the rest of our team to come in and punish him. That is, if our team actually doesn't die like flies. So let's see how it happens. Alarak is at half HP, thanks to, amongst others, our mines. And if he doesn't get off his combo, our Tracer will win the race. She is actually doing pretty amazing right now, getting a lot of kills. So things are looking pretty good for us at the moment. Our wave is even spawning in the bottom lane, which means we will be getting a keep if everything keeps going this way. Ooh, she is getting awfully low. Maybe we can... Oh, perfect rewind. Yeah, at least help Diablo out there. Diablo has to be careful. Yeah. Don't engage there. Try to get out. Maybe we can stop them from following him. Or maybe even get a kill here on their Lunara. Come on, boss. Help us out. Oh. He doesn't seem to like us too much, though. So, Lunara will be retreating, which should give us at least some time to recapture. Or, oh, Diablo. And is he going to make it out? We are actually in danger of dying here. So the choice is now, are we going to symbiote our Li Ming, or are we going to try to get out? And I cowardly chose for the getting out option. In the meantime, our Li Ming actually managed to get their Tracer. So as long as we... Oof, yeah, that's 3 versus 1. And Raynor sadly does not have any escape skills. So, yeah, while things were looking pretty good and we are at 94%, I don't think we're gonna get those last 6% at this time in the game. Then again, we do have a very heroic Tracer here, killing people left and right. So let's see. And sadly, she fell to an Alarak combo. And there's not a whole lot we can do against that at the moment. We could tunnel in into top shrine, hopefully not get killed, but as you can see, there's someone there, so there's just no chance for us. And Nubarak tunneled in, eating a lot of our mines, but he has enough HP that he will not die from them, sadly. I would have preferred if someone like a Chromie would run in there. We should get this kill though. And that was a very nice shove. And we managed to pin him against the wall and show him some lightning. So we once again got control of the top shrine. The bottom shrine, Raynor is going to run into probably 3 of our enemies. No, they are in the top lane at the moment. So we're going to try to help out Diablo here as much as we can, but it's very hard to run away from a Tracer. And as you can see, it sadly did not help him. Luckily for us though, our Rainer did manage to get the bottom shrine, and in the top lane they were so busy with Diablo that we actually managed to get the full 100%. So this is our push. As you can see, I'm just putting some mines down here, for I'm assuming that my team will want to go in and push with our wave, which they clearly, except for Diablo, do not want. They feel more, there are things to say for defending, of course, but given the game so far, I would have preferred if we all just pushed in as hard as possible and get that keep. Flipping around to Tracer will not do too much as long as she still has her recall. Anubarak used his ultimate on us, which is totally fine with me. We will not be able to do too much here. My team is in the meantime going for the fort in the top lane, keeping everything nice and symmetrical on the map. Which, of course, is not really what you need to do. We could just have pushed in the bottom lane and hoped for the best. If we had all shown up there, we could have copied Li Ming, for instance, and if we had gotten some of the resets, we might be in a lot better shape than just taking a fort. So, we do need to make things happen here before the beacons start again, because we are up a hero at the moment, and soon we will be up 2 heroes. But our enemies are capturing all the mercenary camps on their side of the map, and we have not, oh, Tracer, careful, done so. They will not be going for the boss at the moment. They have too few people available. And Rainer, who was bravely attacking the camp by himself, might actually get saved by this cocoon, because he had hardly anything left, and he is able to get out. Anubarak tries to burrow out, but he does not make it, and our Tracer should make... Yep, we get a flip here. And things are looking actually pretty good at this moment. Going for the boss, we are 3 people up on our enemies, but look at how low we are. This will probably not end well for us. And our Tracer sadly dies, giving away our advantage here. And now our opponents are actually going in for the kill on the boss, which is, we were up enough heroes to do it, but we quite clearly did not have enough HP to do it. So now we lose the boss to our opponents. We will have to... we are standing in the middle of the lane, which is pretty dangerous for us. So we almost get killed here by Lunara as well. But we make it out alive. So right now our team has to spread pretty thin, defending the bottom lane against the mercs, still pushing in, defending the top lane against the boss, trying to prevent our enemies from gaining both beacons, which will be hard. So we are in a very bad position here right now. Don't stunt in there, Rainer. Okay. So right now we can use the little tools we have available here to just... Can we reach him? He's standing too far for our spike burst. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. He's moving in, so our spike burst will actually be able to hit the boss. That was a pretty good play on his part. Assuming that he did that for the spike burst. Yeah, Li Ming is not going to be able to do much down there except dying, which sadly she is. And we are bravely trying to hold the fort here, figuratively speaking, because we are defending keeps. But things are looking really bleak. And as you can see, running in one by one will not change the outcome of this one. So, I'm assuming that our enemies will be pushing with their wave, as they should. So we're going to have a very hard time defending this. And without wanting to sound pessimistic, I don't think we can defend this. We only have our Rainer here, who sadly has the weaker of the 2 ultimates. We could copy him, but his AoE is too weak to hold back this incoming wave and these incoming opponents. So I was actually hoping by going for the mines build that we would be able to soften our opponents up enough so that our assassins would get kills, resetting Li Ming straight and thus turning the fight in our favor. I still think we should have pushed when we were gaining the bigger Zerg wave sometimes back, but that's in hindsight. So, we do manage to get the MVP here by dealing the most hero damage, siege damage, and getting the most XP. So on paper we look really good, but honestly, if you get to draft, choose a different hero for this map. Next time I hope to be playing on a different map, and until then, have a good one.